This is Peter from NT Realty, and today we're in the hills above Tivat Bay, close by to Herzegovina. I'm with the two monkeys. Well, I'm actually with one monkey.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Kach. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for visiting us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Just to explain, the guys came over here. They're digital nomads. Kach will explain a lot better than I can because I'm a bit stupid on these things. But explain exactly what she does and how she does it and so on. But part of this new kind of breed, which we've seen a lot more of in Montenegro, with these kind of digital nomads, because it's a good place to hang out and do work from, and then use as a base. So, Kash, tell me a bit more about who Two Monkeys are, and then eventually, and why Montenegro? Why did you come here?
Okay, my name is Kach, and I'm originally from the Philippines. And I've met my husband while traveling in Luang Prabang, Laos in 2013. And he's the other monkey, and he's from the UK. So we've been traveling around the world since 2013, since we've met, backpacking in Asia. And later on, I've traveled to 143 countries since then. And
143 countries.
yeah,
Do you know, I thought I travelled a lot. I've been to
Yeah.
30. 143
Yeah.
is really a lot.
yeah, using my Philippines passport. So, which is actually one of the reasons why we decided to move to Montenegro. So when we've met in 2013, we were traveling in Asia, and that time there's not a lot of there were travel bloggers, but not a lot of Asian travel bloggers like doing what we're doing, and so we've decided to start our travel blog while we were backpacking in India, and we pursued it took it seriously in 2014 when we arrived in Peru, when we realized hey, I don't want to, because we were volunteering, we were doing massage therapy, we're teaching yoga, and we're teaching English, we're doing random things, but it doesn't, we used to make a lot of money in Vietnam, but in Peru we're only making $3 an hour, and we're yeah, why not start an online business where you could earn money from ads. So that's when we decided to start our travel blog. And in 2004, late 2014, 2015, we began very viral articles in social media. Facebook, Instagram is not so much crowded during those times. So, and then we ended up being featured on Forbes magazine, Cosmopolitan, and different kind of publications. So we ended up having more and more followers and readers, and even 1 million readers, unique views on our website during those times.
That's per an article then, so...
Not per article, per website.
Per
So in our
website,
website,
sure.
we have now 2,000 articles on our website,
Uh-huh.
and with travel blog, the way you make money is from affiliate marketing, ads, and stuff. So it funded all of our travels throughout the years from 2013 and until 2020. And we first visited Montenegro in 2017. We were invited by the tourism organization of Herzegovina at that time, and they found us we were writing content, and we visited, which is around November, which is not a popular time to come to Montenegro. And we're what is this country? It's kind of wet, it's rainy, and we were living on sailboat by that time, and they said we have the best Buka Bay and you could go sailing. So we visited. It's well, it's okay, but it's cold and damp. I was okay, but we liked it. It's just the food was cheap that time, and it's not crowded because it's November.
So even at the worst
Month,
you
yeah.
know, November to February, is
Yes,
they're
but
not
we were
great, it can
here.
be a bit rainy. So
Yeah.
you still loved it. So.
Yeah, and we were able to visit Mamula. We visited different places, but we were invited by the touristic organization. And in 2018, they contacted us again, and we were in the Caribbean, and they said, "Kach, would you like to come again to Montenegro and see us during summer?" Because that time when we visited during winter, we featured Montenegro. We mentioned them on a feature for a Forbes article, and put Herzegovina Montenegro as one of the budget destinations they should visit. And they said, we have big plans, one and only is gonna come here. We have more 5-star hotels popping up in Montenegro. And they said, come over again in 2018 and see the summer. And that time in 2018, I experienced paragliding, scuba diving, and we visited August, third week of August. Scuba
So
diving.
the weather was a bit different.
All of ATV and different kind of adventures than what we did in the sailing trip on
Sure.
November. And I was telling Jonathan, who stayed in the Caribbean on our sailboat, that I was wow, Montenegro was amazing.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
different during summer. And by the time we're still sailing in the Caribbean, and we don't have plans to go back to Europe. But later on that year, we decided why not move to Europe. The family, Jonathan is from the UK, and we barely live in Europe because we used to live in Asia, in Vietnam, and then we moved to South America. We live in Peru and Colombia and Costa Rica, and then we moved to Dominican Republic and live on a boat. And we're like, it's kind of tiring to live on a boat with 2 cats. We're like, let's sell our boat and just move to Europe, and we're planning to buy a house in Portugal. But touristic organization told us, why not, Jonathan, come over to Montenegro and experience this sailing regatta here and experience summer. And by that time, we were like, why not move to Montenegro? Like,
and what's the advantages of living here then? You're just specifically, you're as a, if you don't mind me calling you a digital nomad, you might be referred to as content creators or influencers as well, but you're I guess all three kind of all rolled up like many of your ilk out there.
Yeah. So like the advantages of living here. To be honest, we didn't thought of living here full time when we moved here last year. But we were just like looking for a base where it has fast internet. As a digital nomad, we need to have fast internet. And the location is easy to access with flights because we travel a lot. So like that's why we chose Herceg-Novi, because it's so easy to go to Dubrovnik or easy to go to Tivat Airport, and
or even Podgorica. So you've got 3 international airports in 90 minutes.
And we liked it because the low cost of living, and we are not like cheap backpackers who wanted cheap food and stuff. We like to go in like nice restaurants, eat good food, have wine or have these things, and it's still affordable. Like we can't do this kind of lifestyle if we're still in the Bahamas or we're still in London. So I think one of the best thing is that, like,
great. So it's a low cost base, obviously with nice quality, great kind of seafood and restaurants and so on. I think it's interesting what I've noticed how Montenegro has grown, because I've been here since 2015. And yes, it was kind of behind Croatia in many respects, but it's grown so much. But it's grown at the very high end. It's kind of grown at the 5-star, 4-star hotel kind of area. And now it seems as though lots of people who are staying in Dubrovnik would come to Tivat Bay or Kotor Bay or whatever for a good time, to go to a good restaurant, to go to good beaches and so on. Yep, you go to Dubrovnik, it's lovely. You walk around the old town, go, thanks very much, I bought a fridge magnet. And that's about it. You might be staying in the thing. What are you going to do? You're going to get a pizza in the main square. You're going to rip top of it. But here, there's so much. I think the interesting thing with Montenegro is, especially with 2 sides. One is obviously as for tourists. There's so much going on in such a small place. So you have, like you said, ATV or scuba diving or paragliding, or you can go ziplining down the Tara Canyon. You've got the second deepest canyon in the world. You've got the second biggest lake in the world with Skara Lake. I might be wrong in that, but it's very big anyway. So there's lots of carp in there. You've got the mountains, so you've got the skiing and snowboarding in the winter. Not great, but it's good enough. And one reason why I moved here was actually I wanted to find something as a real estate investor, which is sea to ski. I wanted something which would be sea to ski within 3 hours.
Yes, that's
and that's what I found. And I've been snowboarding once in that time, so there we are. But do you find, I mean, for example, in Montenegro, you have a low tax base here. It's a 9% tax.
9% income tax,
Do you find there's advantages of living here, sort of being domiciled here for tax purposes, or?
Something like that, but because we've been digital nomad for years, so our website is online based, and then before we had our business registered in the UK, and of course I'm from the Philippines. So if for a Filipino like working online or living abroad, I don't have to pay taxes in the Philippines anyway, because I'm not non-resident, and because Jonathan is not living in the UK, like we only visit the UK like maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks in a year. He's a non-resident as well. So so one of the reasons why we moved to Montenegro is because of this low taxes for like setting up our company and stuff like that. But of course, we also ended up buying our house. And they're like like just like the property that we wanted, we can't buy it like this in the UK. So the quality that we wanted to have.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like a little kind of Tuscan cottage. It's absolutely beautiful. I love the colours that you've done here. Jonathan, who's just sitting out of shot because he's a little bit camera shy, I think. He's an architect, so worked with some great local builders. You've got great connections with builders and artisans here. And great. I'll show some shots of the interior of the house and the exterior.
It's not yet finished, but you'll see the first part.
Sure. I'll hide the cables. Don't worry. Hanging out there.
And there are other buildings. There are guest buildings.
It's a work in progress. But as a work in progress, it's pretty cool. So it looks great. So. And that's it. So what would you say to other digital nomads or kind of content creators about coming to Montenegro? What are your thoughts?
I actually was talking with one of the politicians in the last few days after the election. We've been doing this lifestyle in the last, like since 2013. And I actually just created a new Facebook group called Montenegro Digital Nomads and Remote Workers. Like after I posted in one of the biggest Facebook group in like for digital nomads, it has like 135,000 followers. That many people haven't considered to move to Montenegro and based here for a year. So I was like talking to the politician, like, why not make a digital nomad visa like what Croatia is planning to do and what Georgia and Estonia already established? Because this is really a great location for digital nomads. They have fast internet, not super fast like South Korea or Japan or what, but like you have really good fast internet and strategic location. Like you have borders everywhere. Unlike Croatia and Estonia, they're figuring out with Schengen or EU rules because there's no border control. Like Montenegro has really good border control, and like many airlines are flying here. It's so easy for people like us. Like we're travel bloggers. Not all digital nomads are travel bloggers.
Sure.
So like a lot of like software engineer or what. Yeah. So like they could just easily fly from America and stuff like that from
America,
here.
Europe, wherever they.
Europe,
wherever they
Asia, or Africa. It's just so easy connection, and the food quality is cheap, and apartments like 350 euro, you'll have like a nice fully furnished apartment. Yeah.
If you want to rent something for long term, actually we have a Airbnb apartment, so obviously if you're renting short term, it's a little bit more expensive. But I'm finding more and more people sort of make inquiries. What's your internet like? Is it reliable? So on and so forth. You go, it's normally 10 or 20 meg broadband or something like that. It's quite good. It kind of works. It doesn't drop so much. The qualities for these things is so much better than it used to be. And that's it, because people, they want to come here for a month at least. And then maybe they decide they like the lifestyle, but they want to come here, they want to work, and they do work. They work there 9 to 5, but when they finish work, they get out and they have a coffee in Kotor Old Town, or they have a beer in Porto Montenegro, or they go to the beach in Bajeva Kula, or they walk around Herceg-Novi Old Town, or whatever it is. There's so much kind of just on the doorstep, which I think, again, is what I was alluding to before. Is Montenegro is very interesting because there's a lot to do in such a small place, a small space.
And it's cheaper compared to other countries. Like for Europe standard, I think for us, based on our experience, I think your money can go further with this, but it's not as cheap as like living in Thailand or Indonesia. So don't get me wrong when people say like, oh, it's cheap, but like it's not as cheap as Asia. No, I think for European standard, it's really good deal.
I think things like shopping, I've noticed that it's almost like commoditized now. So maybe you'll pay the same price for tomatoes as you would in Sainsbury's in the
organic,
UK. But the tomatoes here, I know one guy, he just buys like a kilo of tomatoes and eats them like fruit, which they are, because they're delicious. They actually taste like tomatoes. They're really, and they're organically grown on the whole. Food tastes great. You've got the Adriatic Sea out there, got brilliant kind of a sea bass and sea bream. Like a
that's why we chose
squid.
Herceg-Novi. So it is. And it's so easy to go to the mountains. It's so easy. Like I think, like this is what we're trying to advocate now. Like because as a former digital nomad, I can't consider myself now a nomad because we own a house.
Well, you have a base, but you're still doing lots of traveling. You're still
we're still travel bloggers, but it's not considered as digital nomads.
So that's it from the hills above Tivat Bay with Kach and Jonothan, the two monkeys. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked the videos. Please like if you liked it. Subscribe. Hit the round button in the middle of the in the screen right now. And on the screen we have a couple of videos which I think you might like. So please feel free to pick one of those, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.